afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Recovery Month. We celebrate Recovery Month every September, and this is the 31st year that we have actually engaged this level of celebration. Recovery Month is really about acknowledging the successes of people who are in recovery from mental illness, as well as those who are in recovery from substance use disorders. We know that it's quite a task to maintain those statuses throughout the course of your life, and people in varying degrees are able to accomplish that over the course of their lives. And however long you have been in recovery, we want to celebrate you because we know that it is a monumental feat to be able to do that. The other thing we want to celebrate are the people who work with those who are in recovery, the treatment providers, the agencies that are dedicated to making sure that services are available for people in recovery, and all of the individual providers who dedicate their lives in the service of helping one person get their lives on track. The fundamental basis for us providing recovery treatment services is that we believe that treatment works and that prevention does save lives and that everybody can achieve recovery. And so to all of those who are in recovery, we say congratulations to you. We send you shout outs to continue doing such great work, because today at Metropolitan Human Services District, you are the evidence that we change lives. And so at this point, I want to hand it over to Ashley Thibodeau McGillis, who will share words of the life of her father, the late Martin Thibodeau, who was a tremendous force in the world of recovery. And so Ashley, if you mind sharing some lifetime stories with us, as well as your father's contribution to the community.
Thank you, Dr. Dunham. Hello to everyone out there in the virtual world. Once again, I am Ashley Thibodeau McGillis. My father, I would say, was the definition of a servant leader. My dad had such a great passion for helping others in the mental health industry, as well as the substance abuse industry as well. I can remember as a child my dad being honored, I think it was the United Way. He was honored for his contributions, and I had to be maybe about 7 or 8, so I was super excited that he was getting an award. And you know, we were getting together and getting dressed and all that stuff, and I was running around the house full speed because I was super happy my dad was getting an award. And he stopped and he was like, "What is wrong with you? Like, why are you so hyped?" And if you've ever met my dad, you know that he was definitely a character and he had a way with words. So he doesn't do a lot of drama. So for me to be just so extra, he's like, "Ashley, what's wrong? Why are you, like, what's the problem?" So I explained to him how happy and proud I was, as a 7-year-old. So it was in a 7-year-old term. But we went and I was able to see my dad get up and receive his award. And at that moment, it was just an award. It wasn't until I became an adult where I could really appreciate the impact that my dad has had on so many people. Now that he's passed away, we're hearing of more and more stories that we didn't realize even existed. He would always say that he was a big deal outside of the house, and we didn't understand how big of a deal he was, because at home he was just daddy or just Martin to my mom. And he was definitely a big deal to us at home, but he would jokingly say that. I remember preparing for his services, and just like my dad, everything was in order. I went to his office, and his resume was in a folder as if he had left it there for me. And I went through it, and I said to myself, like, when did he have time to do all of this? When did he have the time to volunteer, to work at all these places, and be this big deal to us at home? But it spoke to the person that he was and the passion that he had for helping others. I can remember the day before my dad passed away, and we were bringing him to the doctor's office, and he was answering the phone while struggling to breathe, might I add, and getting out the car and all that stuff at the same time. And I'm like, Dad, that can wait. Like you can't help anybody else unless you can help yourself. That can wait. And he mustered up enough strength to tell me, stop, I have this. And when he finally got off the phone with the person, he said that he needed to do this for them. They needed him to do this. And at that moment, of course, I'm thinking of my dad, so I'm not thinking of it in the sense that he was thinking. And I don't have the same passion that he had, because we're two totally different people, and this was his passion. And that was just one example of the many times that he put the benefit of someone else above his own. With leading, I would witness him talk to schoolmates or co-workers that he may be assisting with something, and helping them to succeed was like no other. I can also remember a time, I have a million stories about my dad, and I could talk all day, all night, all evening. But one really stuck out. He was working on a project for Metropolitan, but he was in the ICU at the time. And he took I left that night before, and he said, on your way back to the hospital, after you stop and get my Starbucks. Now, mind you, there was a PJ's in the lobby, but he did not want PJ's, he wanted Starbucks. So he said, on your way from getting my coffee, stop at the house and get my books. So, of course, he told me the books that he needed, and I brought them to the hospital. Now, like I said, he was in the ICU. So I'm like, Daddy, are you really going to be reading and trying to take notes and all that? Like, you need to focus on resting and getting better. And in great Martin Thibodeau fashion, he politely put me in my place and told me that, this is what he once again needed to do. So my dad's passion for helping others was evident throughout his career. My entire life, I can't remember him doing anything else, or I can always remember him going the extra mile for someone else, putting in the extra work, putting in the extra time. And if there was a picture associated with servant leadership, it would be a picture of my father. And I will always be grateful for the lessons that he's taught us of how to serve others. And always grateful for the Metropolitan family as well. This has been an adjustment for our family, of course, without my father being here. But there are times like this where it makes it a little bit more bearable, because we know that his legacy is still alive and still being talked about, and we're grateful for that.
Well, thank you so much, Ashley, for those words. Just resurrecting the memory of your father in a way that only his child can do. So he was so loved and appreciated by all of us. I knew Martin for over 20 years, and he was always my go-to person when it comes to working with people with substance use disorders. And so I really, really heavily relied upon just his experience, his common sense, his pragmatism, his frank, candid honesty, uncut honesty.
And that wasn't just at work.
With everybody. I mean, and in this world, in the world of substance use disorders, you need honesty.
Yeah.
There's so much dishonesty that you need someone who is refreshingly honest about what's going on. And so he definitely made his mark, and he left a huge footprint.
Yes.
And anybody who's trying to follow in his footsteps, good luck with that.
Yes, yes.
But thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
participating and speaking on the life of one of our finest. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
And so now I want to turn over the mic to Mr. Biff Hitchens, who is one of our peers in recovery. And Biff has his own story to tell, so with that, I'm going to turn it over to him.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to say kind of a few things about what recovery means to me. It's a lot more than just taking medications and abstaining from drugs and alcohol. It's really a way of life. It's really trying to strive to be the best version of yourself, no matter how many times you fall or jail time or hospitalizations or anything. You keep getting up and you persevere. And really, it's about just reaching out when you need help. I find a lot of times people isolate. I know I do when I get sick. And really, it's just a matter of reaching out and knowing that you are loved and just knowing that people out there care about you, like us here and family members. And I'm just so grateful for everything that Metropolitan has done for me. They've been very loving and caring in all my years of working here. And I just thank them every day for giving me a job where I can affect lives with my story, because it's a hard one, a lot of hospitalizations, a lot of jail time, and I'm just glad to be here today, because recovery is possible with the help of others and with perseverance and love. So thank you.
And you are a testament to that, Biff, and we absolutely won't let you go. We'll link with you for life, and we won't let you go. So we will always support you in anything and everything that you're trying to do. And we truly, truly appreciate the support you bring to us in everything that you do, because we would not be a complete agency of change if you and the peers were not a part of this agency. So we tremendously value you, tremendously support you, and we will always be there for you. One of the things that we've done this year is we've, on a weekly basis, provided a number of different activities for the community, and we really wanted to celebrate the lives of persons who are in recovery, seeking recovery. Would like to say that someday they will be in recovery by providing a number of different activities. One of the things that we're doing is we hosted an art contest this year, first time, and we had some lovely, lovely young people to participate. And so what you see before you are the art collections that we receive from various young people in our community. And so to honor them, we are making all of these first prize winners, and everybody will receive an accolade on the part of Metropolitan Human Services District for the time that they took to submit these beautiful pieces of art. And each one tells its own story, but it does a great job of telling the story of recovery in various ways. And so we do have young people who receive services for mental illness and substance use disorders. And so it is quite fitting that they would have been a part of this art contest. And so to all of our individuals who submitted entries into the art contest, we say congratulations, you're all first place winners. And thanks again for being a part of Metropolitan, where once again, we change lives. Thank you so much.